This is the ARPHA Smart Deadbolt Lock. There's a bunch of different ways that you can open it. You can open it with a key. You can open it with a keypad, a 4 to 8 digit number. You can open it with your palm and your vein unlock. You can also unlock it with your facial recognition. You can also unlock it and lock it with your phone. So let's jump into all the instructions, how to install the app, what it looks like when we're finished, what we see on the backside with the camera. Let's jump into it right now. There's everything that comes in the box. You're going to have a door template that's going to give you your keyhole measurements both on the opposite side of the door and the receiver. You're going to have a user manual, a QR code that walks you through everything, your keypad lock right here, base station on the back side of the door. See everything here. USB speaker that you can charge. Put this someplace else in your house. The actual lock itself, the plate on the other side of the wall, screws for both of those, your keys, bracket mount, more screws, your battery. Notice that it is rechargeable with USB-C right there, and then your mount plate right here. We'll show you how to put everything together. So you want to use your template just to make sure that everything, the right holes right here, again, for your frame, your mortise hole, everything's going to fit. So we're actually going to put this on our outside shed. I've removed all of the other stuff. I think because it's a double door, and I'll show you this just in a second, I'm going to leave the other mortise hole there, and then I just want to show you kind of what we're looking at and show you that all the measurements match. Let me flip this around and show you. So these are going to be pretty much all standard size. You can see right here, this is going to fit perfectly here. We come around to the other side. This is going to fit perfectly here. Now the door frame hole, right, is going to be actually over here because we're going to connect it to the other side. And this is the piece that I'm probably already going to leave on right here. And I will replace this part most likely. So let's jump into the install. Should be pretty quick, but again, you want to just make sure that you have the right size for everything. The first thing we're actually going to do is we're going to install the deadbolt. And you want to make sure right here where it says up is that this is actually facing up. That way when you actually turn the lock, the deadbolt comes out. You can see there's kind of a little tongue and groove right here, and this is how the deadbolt works if you've never used one of these, but we're going to throw this in. So looking right here, we have this side up, we put this in. Now we're actually going to screw right here, 2 screws right in here, and this actually just fit nicely right in here. So again, we're just going to take 2 screws, screw them right in there, and basically lock this in place. So again, you can see right there, it says up. You want to make sure that says up. The one thing before I go full ham and do the rest is I just want to make sure that this actually just goes in. So you can see right there, this is going all the way across into here. And so we have a bottom lock and a top lock. So before I drill everything, get everything set up, I just want to make sure that it works. I've done this enough that I know that if you're off just a little bit, it's horrible taking everything apart. Next portion is the crossbar, right? So this is actually going to go all the way through, and you can see these part is going to go, and this is actually going to connect. You've got some wiring that you want to make sure that you put through as well. So I'm on the inside. I'm going to flip around to the outside and just show you that you want to make sure that this lines up and that these 2 nozzles, this goes through the actual keyhole. So you can see right here, this twists all the way around. So you want to make sure that you have all this right. There's pictures of everything. I can just show you right here. This is the page that we're talking about right here. We're going to connect it to the back, and then we'll get that screwed on. So we want to make sure the wires go underneath. We want to make sure this white part, let me get down a little bit closer. We want to make sure, sorry, this cap. So we want to make sure the wires go underneath the deadbolt, and that this goes right in here. And we're going to get a nice snug fit as I zoom out just a little bit. Nice snug fit. So this is the front. Obviously this is where we're going to be able to do the AI, the hand, vein recognition. We're going to have a key. We also have a fob, and then we can unlock, lock, and add a code and everything like that. So this is obviously going to go on the front. So your key, your hand. We don't have any power yet going to it because we haven't charged the battery. And then you have the camera right here. Next part is the back plate. You can see that we have room for the wire. We can also have the room for the 2 screws because the screws are actually going to go in and connect everything to the backside. There is this little rubber pad on the back. It's a little bit annoying just because, but it's going to protect your door. So you're actually going to put the rubber side towards the door, just so everybody is clear. The rubber side is going to go towards the door. The other part is you're going to have these little tiny hooks that are actually going to go to the deadbolt. So these are all going to hook in like this and just slide up. So that way you can actually slide this off. And then put the battery in. Sorry, it goes this way actually. So this goes in just like this. And then right here is where the battery's gonna go. So you can actually pop this off if needed. And then the battery part just goes right in the top. So here we go. We want to run the wires through here. And then we also want to run the deadbolt through here. We want to make sure that all of our rubber on the outside is here. So I go right like this. So you're actually going to take these screws through the back plate, one here and one here. So there's 2 holes right there. Again, right here, right here. So we'll get these in, and this will actually mount to the front. Okay, so right here, they send you 2 set of screws. One is A, one is B, and it depends on the door length. Because this is an outside exterior door, it's got this extra kind of insulation right here. So I went with A. I hand started screwing them. Then what I will do is with a screwdriver, I'll just go in and screw them the rest of the way. Obviously, I want to make sure that they're straight and everything lines up correctly, but I'll just use a level right here to level this out. I have a little handheld level that I just have in my bag. So again, you want to make sure that these are centered, and then you just screw these into the front plate right back here. I've hand started it. Before you go with that final time or final turn with the screwdriver, you want to make sure that everything is level. Again, here's that little hand level. We're looking right up on top. Right here, it's straight. So we'll check the front side. This is the side that I actually care about more. So this is the side that we want to make sure that is level. So we're good on this. So now I'm going to actually do those final turns on those screws on the back side. Okay, next portion we have, one of the plugs is going to go in here. One of the plugs is going to go in here. You want to make sure that you get the right plug in the right spot. Now, it's really difficult because there are 2 different ends. There's kind of the big thicker end, and then there's the skinny wider end. So you just want to make sure that those go into the proper slot. And then we're actually just going to mount this on the back like this after we get those plugged in. So we're going to plug them in right now. You don't have a lot of room to work with once you get it on. So you'll hear a little click. Something on top of our roof in our shed. And it is hot today, so I apologize. Before we mount this on and snap this on, there's a couple internal screws that we're gonna have to install. So just underneath this metal frame, it's a magnet. There's 2 holes right here, 1 and 2. This is gonna be letter H on your install. And then this is just a magnet. So this just pops off, super easy. I'm just using a flathead bit right here. So let's throw these 2 screws in before we snap everything back on. There we go. So we're in on both. And then I'm just gonna rest this here for a second. So we've got this mounted on, and you see when I screwed in the piece, this rubber came out a little bit. So I'm actually gonna take this off, readjust that. This just pops off. It can hang here. So on this left side, the nice thing about this rubber seal is prevents water damage or water getting down in here. So as I just loosen this up just a little bit, we have some room to kind of tuck this back in. This literally took like 10 seconds. So don't want to over and tighten it. I don't want to squish all this out. We're in, and we just want to make sure that the deadlock works. So you can hear that because there's a motor in there. It sounds like I'm rushing an engine, right? So now everything's good. We're gonna slide this down. So once you've got all the 2 screws tight and everything like this, there's the top right here, it just pops off with your fingernail. This is the battery. You'll notice that has this little strap on it so that you can pull it out. It is a USB-C to USB-C charging, and that comes in the box. So we've already showed you that when we unboxed everything. So you're gonna drop this in here, push it all the way down. Please open app to pair smart lock. And then it gives you a message. Please open the app to pair the smart lock. So you can see that we're now in, we're good. It's locked, it talks to you. We can unlock it just with that mechanism right there. We can also hit the button, which is right here. So I'm going to connect the app now and show you a little bit of it in the app. I'm actually not going to close the battery casing I'm gonna leave this up just to show you, so you can actually just pull this out like this and put it back in. The battery's gonna last you anywhere from 1 month to 2 months, depending on how much you use this, the voice, the lock, different things like that. The one that we have on our back door, very similar to this, it lasts about 6 weeks, and then we just charge it overnight and put it back in. This one, because we don't come in this shed as often as we go in and out of the back door, this one will probably last a little bit longer than that. So let's jump into the app and get everything connected. Okay, so when you get this, you're gonna wanna factory reset it after so you can connect. So there's a hole underneath on the bottom right here. You're gonna hold it for about 7 seconds right here, and then it'll say press the unlock button. So then you just come around to this side right here and press the unlock button, and then you can connect it to your Bluetooth/Wi-Fi settings to connect to the app. So let's connect to the app right now. All right, so I'm actually gonna walk up to the camera right now. We'll see how close it takes for me to get. So it's locked right now. You can see that the deadbolt is out. And what I'm gonna do is walk up, and it should see my face. Red light just turned on. It recognized my face. And you'll notice that right here, this turned green. It shows me that it was unlocked. So I can lock it again. Unlocked, because it sees my face. So now I'm gonna hide my face from this and just show you the hand. So I can come up, here's our vane lock, right there. Still hide my face, we can come up, we can type in the code. So we can change password management, we can do palm print management, we can do face management. And I'm actually gonna show you these in the app, and then I'll try and get some footage of me walking up and unlocking it. We can share this device with other people in the home if we wanted to do that, which we are going to with my wife. So right here, you can hear it. I'm gonna put this right next to it, the speaker. Unlocked. And then we can just tap it to lock. Locked. And it'll just tell you that. So let's get over to the camera. You can see we've got here, if we can record, if we want to take a snapshot of a picture, we can do that. We can turn the speaker voice. Okay, a few final thoughts on the ARPHA Smart Lock. There's different models that you can get. This one actually works really, really well for us. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can lock the door, and you can speak to the person on the other side, so you can have a conversation with them. So just to walk through everything in summary. So while everything's happening on the outside of the door, this is what's happening on the inside of the door. You've got a full view camera right here, so you can see what's happening on the outside of the door. So this door is a blind door in the shed. So if I was in the shed, it was locked. I don't know why I would be, but I can see everything that's happening out there. That's my hand right there. I can lock it just with the knob here. I can do it electronically right here with this. So now that we've got everything installed, everything is working, I'm gonna throw the cap back on and then give you my final thoughts on how everything works, the different ways that you can lock this, unlock this, the automatic tools you can unlock from your phone. So let me give you my final thoughts on all of this. This is absolutely fantastic. There are 5 different ways that you can open this lock. The install was really, really easy. It actually took me a little bit longer because I was recording the whole thing. Install, if you have all the tools and everything ready to go, should be about 20 minutes. The battery is going to last a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depending on how much you use it. You can unlock this with your face, you can unlock it with your palm, you can unlock it with a code, you can unlock it with a key, you can connect your mobile device to it. So there's 5 ways to unlock this. You've got a camera on the backside, which we showed you in the video. This is an absolute no-brainer if you're looking for a 2-way communication system that you can open and see from outside of your house. If you have guests that come, you can give out different passwords to different people. Super, super awesome tool, device for safety, all of the things wrapped into one. Thanks for watching.